Good evening to everybody. And today topic is the conversion to Islam and its effect of conversion. And this is first year, second semester family law topic. Let us see what is conversion or convert to Islam. The testimony of faith that is called Shahada, Shahada. Becoming a Muslim is a simple and easy process. All that a person has to do is to say a sentence called the testimony of faith that is called Shahada, which is pronounced as I testify La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. I repeat, I testify La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. These Arabic words mean there is no true God but God, Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger, prophet of God. Once a person says the testimony of faith, Shahada, with convictions and understanding its meaning, then he or she has become a Muslim. The first part, there is no true deity but God, means that none has the right to be worshipped but God alone, and that God has neither partner nor son. The second part means that Muhammad was the true prophet sent by God to humankind. That was the translation of the Shahada is concerned. To be a Muslim, one should also follow these tenets, that is, believe that the Holy Quran is the literal word of God revealed by Him, believe that the judgment day, that is the resurrection day, is true and will come, believe in the prophets that God sent and the books He revealed and in His angels, accept Islam as his her religion, not worship anything nor anyone except God. These tenets principles should be followed strictly when a person becomes a Muslim. And effect of conversion to Islam. And here we have touched only few aspects of it, but in detail we see in the further classes when we deal the each topic. Come to the point. Converting to the Islam has certain effect regarding the legal status of the convert in Sharia. He is no longer hold his or her earlier religion or faith. Burial rites are to be read according to the Islamic traditions. Inheritance changes. Some behavior becomes criminalized for him, that is regarding apostasy, drinking alcohol, having extramarital sex, and some contracts are broken, perhaps most importantly, marriage not with other religious girls or ladies. One question that is relevant in this regard is how recent was the conversion? And another may be, are converts permanently differ from born Muslims? Legally, the second question can probably easily be answered with no. All Sahaba were converts after all, and once a ruling was established, they were expected to follow it as soon as they learned about it. On conversion to Islam, I repeat, on conversion to Islam, converts, no matter what their previous religion may have been, must be taken at that moment to have renounced their former religion and personal law and to have substituted in its place the Muslim religion and so much of the personal law as necessarily flow from that religion. That is the Advocate General of Bombay versus Zimbabwe. In that case, law it is clearly mentioned. All matters, as I said earlier, marriage, divorce, dower, maintenance, gift, inheritance or succession, waqf, guardianship, parenthood, wills are covered by the Muslim law and where the Muslim law would be applicable. And we'll study them each in further classes or further classes on online. Let us see some of the example how the change of the religion, one religion to another religion, and how the law would be applicable. under the Muslim law. And thus, an Indian Christian domiciled in India can, after his conversion to Islam, legally contract a second marriage with a Muslim woman while his former marriage with a Christian woman is still subsisting. That is given in the John Jivan Chandra Datta versus Abhinash. But if the first marriage was contracted in England under English form during its subsistence, the second marriage would be regarded as nullity. It is clearly mentioned in the King versus Superintendent Register of Marriages, Hammersmith, 1917. But the conversion of a Hindu wife to Islam does not ipso facto dissolve her marriage with her husband, and she would be guilty of bigamy if she marries again. And that is stated in the um, Nandi versus the Crown. In Kambata versus Kambata case law, a Muslim married a Christian. I repeat, in Kambata versus Kambata, a Muslim married a Christian woman in the Christian form. The wife became a converted to Islam and the husband divorced her by talaq. In these circumstances, the court held that the divorce was valid. How? Let us see the problem. A Muslim, I repeat, the case law. A Muslim married a Christian woman in the Christian form. Good. The wife became converted to Islam. Yes, is purely the now she adopted Islam. The Islamic rules will be applicable. And the husband divorced her by talaq. Yes, it's a valid because wife also Muslim and husband also Muslim. Hence, the personal law would be applied over there, and talaq would be valid. In this circumstance, that the court that the divorce was valid. Yes, the divorce was valid. Let us see the problem. One, Yusuf, a Muslim, marries Rita, a Christian woman in Scotland, according to the Lex Loci, the law of Scotland. They return India, where Rita embraces Islam. Can Yusuf divorce Rita by talaq? The answer is, why can divorce her by talaq or having embraced Islam? The reason is, it is very much clear that Rita embraced Islam, like what we have seen in Kambata versus Kambata case law. Let us see the succession of property of convert of the Muslim religion would be governed by Muslim law, yes, and not by the Indian Succession Act. The property, therefore, of a Hindu convert to Islam will devolve according to Muslim law, yes, obviously. But in all such cases, the conversion must be bona fide and not a colorable one. That is not a conversion with the sole purpose of evading the personal law to which such person is subject. A Christian married to Christian wife was cohabiting with another native Christian woman, desirous of marrying a second woman. In order to escape the punishment of her bigamy, both the man and the native Christian woman declared themselves Muslims and went through a form of marriage according to Muslim law, and it was held marriage was not valid. Because for getting the another wife, they both converted into Islam, and at that instance, they are giving only the color of one, but the conversion is a valid conversion that is clearly stated in the Skinner's case law. Conversion impact on property rights are concerned. Let us see how the conversion having effect on property rights. Muslim Personal Law, that is Serious Application Act 1937. By that we will see the one scenario. Ashfaq Ahmad, now Manish Madan. I repeat, Ashfaq Ahmad, now Manish Madan, is the biological son of a Ahmad Raza, who married a Hindu woman. Years after marriage, Manish and his mother lived separately, and the son converted to Hinduism, while Razak married a Muslim woman and had two daughters. Manish has lost his biological parents, and on hearing that his stepmother and stepsister were about to sell their apartment, he wanted to know his rights over his late father's property. According to the law, the biological son will have the right over the father's property, and the Caste Disabilities Act will come into force. Yes, the Caste Disability Act will come into force, hence there is no change at all. Then also note that even if the child was illegitimate or born out of the wedlock, he still be eligible to claim the ownership over his father's property. Muslim Personal Law Shariat Application Act 1937 applies to all those families where both the partners are Muslims. In case the marriage took place under the Special Marriage Act, the succession is governed by the Indian Succession Act. and these are the few highlights we made it, but in further classes for each one we dealt separately. Thank you very much. Be online to hear my lecture. Goodbye.